What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of In the Trenches here on the Post-Gazette Sports Now Podcast Network and YouTube channel. I'm Noah Hiles. As always, joining me on the show are your two co-hosts, Jake Kradel and Gavin Bartholomew, two key members of the Pitt football offense. Fellas, bye week came and went this past week. Normally, things are all quiet during the bye week. It's relaxing. And while you guys got a little bit of downtime, I myself, I was pretty busy. Some notable news came out of the bye week. Obviously, the most important position in the sport. There was a change made there to your offense. Phil Dracovic, no longer the starter. Christian Veilleux has taken over in those starting duties. We didn't get to react to it last week. We recorded after I reported it, but it just didn't feel right for you guys to talk about it until your head coach announced it, and that's fair. But it was kind of awkward last week when we were going to record. We were like, we should probably hang on here. So now you do have a chance to talk about it. You know, your teammates have talked about it. Your coach has talked about it. Just want to get your reaction to how things unfolded and what that has been like for you guys, because it hadn't happened recently. You know, Kenny never got benched. He didn't get benched last year. So this is something relatively new that neither of you guys have really experienced. What was that like for both of you?
It was definitely interesting. It's not, like you said, we're kind of new to it, so we didn't really know what to expect. I mean, we didn't know if it was going to happen or not, and it happened where Phil kind of took a mature approach to it, and let us know where he was, and he's a guy that he's bought all the way into this program. He's just not here to be a quarterback. He's here to be a great teammate, to help serve the team in any way he can. If it's special teams or going back to quarterback, wherever he may land up. So I mean, he's I can't say enough about him. Being a great teammate and what he's done for us, I guess. But I think it was one of those times where we're in a rocky start. We're 1-4, and I think the coaches, thought we might need a spark, and they went with a different hand. And with Christian, I think Christian's been ready. He's been a guy behind the scenes that just staying ready. He's always trying to learn. I mean, I remember in the summer he was a guy that he would come to me like, "Hey, let's meet for like an hour." We'd end up meeting for 2.5 hours just talking protections and stuff. Like, if I see this, like, you came with me overriding this, he would say. And I'm like, yeah, like that's a smart guy. It's a guy that's, wise beyond his age. And I'm extremely excited to see, if he can make some plays for us and, see the success he brings for the next, 7 weeks, 7-8 weeks, however long.
I thought they did a good job handling it, especially Phil. Like Jake said, he did it in a real mature way. I feel like he definitely could have went another route that, could have, kind of sunk the team a little bit, but, he did it in a good way and, kind of brought the guys in and, he welcomed Christian. And so did everyone else. It's nothing new for us, right? I mean, we've been working with him since, spring, fall camp. So, all the guys are used to him. No matter who our quarterback is, nothing changes. Whether it's Christian, Nate, Phil, whoever it is, it's going to be the same. So, yeah, we're getting ready, and it'll be a fun week.
So, guys, just looking, like Pat said it on Monday, this move was made in hopes to give your offense a spark. What would allow Christian to give that spark? Tell us a little, because we've only seen him play one final quarter against Wofford and in the second half against North Carolina. And I think it'd be fair to assume that he's capable of more than what he showed in the second half against the Tar Heels. So what is it about his game that makes him a dynamic quarterback that, had him in the Elite 11 passing camp when he was in high school, that had him as a 4-star recruit, that had him do well at Penn State in his limited time there, and that had him in a spot where Pitt wanted to go get him in the portal last year?
Yeah, definitely. I think I truly, I haven't, actually watched him play a lot, in terms of in-game action. So I can't really speak on that, but I can just tell you from practice, the way he commands a huddle, the respect he demands, and, just his urgency to want to, get the play in and, execute it and stuff like that. His film study, I mean, he's a guy that loves football. So that's exciting. And, I think that can help us, be more explosive on offense. I mean, I don't think we've been nearly as explosive in, past years like we were. So I think, hopefully that term of a spark. I think get more first downs, get yards, get big plays. I mean, big plays is something I think we're missing this year. I think we've had a couple big play touchdowns, maybe just one in the last game against Virginia Tech. So I think that's the big thing. I just think, it's gonna be fun to watch because I think he's a great athlete, and I think if you watch him throw a ball, I mean, I don't know much about quarterback play, but that thing just flies off his hands. So I'm sure Gavin can speak more on that, but I'm just excited to see him go out there and play and see what he can bring to our offense.
Yeah, no, I mean, like Jake said, he's a heck of an athlete. He's shown all of us, he's just got to show everyone else. And, I think he will this Saturday. He's the type of guy that likes to throw the ball. He can run the ball if need be, but, he likes to sit in the pocket and air it out. And he's accurate with his throws. And like Jake said, he could definitely spin it.
All right. So aside from the quarterback change, I mean, there looked to be some other stuff that went down in the bye week. I noticed a couple of other changes on the depth chart. Looks like Kenny Johnson has an or listed next to his name with Dejon Reynolds. So he's going to probably get a little bit more playing time. I saw some changes on the defensive end. You guys don't have to speak on those specific topics, but I mean, what were your big takeaways from the bye week? Like, was the focus on Louisville? Was the focus on yourselves? And do you guys feel like you got better, or was it more just kind of like a rest up, get healthy, and get ready to have a great week of practice this current week?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think a bye week it's one of those things where it's like you can use it for many things. And I think we use it for everything in terms of getting healthy, in terms of looking at Louisville, in terms of just looking at ourselves in the mirror. And that's the last one is the biggest one, is like seeing where we went, not necessarily wrong, but seeing where we didn't execute well. Like I think we talked about last podcast, like what schemes, concepts, and stuff that we not execute the previous 5 games, and where can we improve? What can we add? What can we, make our bread and butter, per se. So I think that's kind of like where we took this, is just and then honestly, other than that, I think it was just the fundamentals and techniques, is just drilling those down. A lot of individual time. We didn't have, we had team periods, but not as many as we would in a normal work week. So it was just good to get out there and, kind of work on the everyday things that are, going to help us succeed on Saturday. And then to your, point about the depth chart, I think it's great to see, guys competing. That's the biggest thing, is when you have guys competing in a program, that makes it better. Everyone's, kind of not satisfied where they're at. Everyone wants to move up and up, no one wants to move down. But I mean, that just shows the talent we have on this team. I mean, like I said, we're 1-4, but that's not a reflection of the talent we have. We have extremely, talented guys, and we just as players have to execute, and then that'll show come on Saturday.
Yeah, no, the bye week is definitely, I feel like, a reality check. Looking at ourselves where we are, we're 1-4, obviously not where we want to be. So going into this week, I feel like it was definitely like a get your body ready for, the stretch we have coming up to go on a nice run we're going to have. But also attack for Louisville. We were game planning. So that way this week's a lot smoother, and everyone knows what they're doing. But as far as the depth charts, I honestly didn't even know about it, but I mean, it's good to see everyone competing. It makes the team better, and it makes everyone better. So,
all right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Before we do, I want to say that this video and every other video on the Post-Gazette Sports Now YouTube channel is brought to you by the Great Yinzer Tailgate, which is bringing the best of the Berg to South Point on November 4th, showcasing Pittsburgh's rich culture, iconic sports history, and vibrant community spirit. The Great Yinzer Tailgate will immerse you in the unique blend of traditions that make Pittsburgh legendary. Visit www.thegreatyinzertailgate.com for details. We'll see Yins there. You guys won't be there because you have a game against Florida State that day. But maybe some other people will watch the game at the Great Yinzer Tailgate. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we will be joined by Pitt captain Matt Goncalves, who we haven't heard from in a while because of his injury. We're going to get a little bit more information on that when we return here on In the Trenches with Jake Kradel and Gavin Bartholomew. Here on In the Trenches with Jake Kradel and Gavin Bartholomew. Joining the show here is Matt Goncalves. Not a first-time guest. Is a first-time guest to the public. He was in the beta episode, which didn't reach the airwaves for one reason or another, but we got that all cleared up. So it's good to have him back on. And I'll let Jake and Gavin take over the interview here soon. But before we do, Jake, who's this interview brought to us by?
In the Huddle is brought to you by the one place in Pittsburgh where you can caffeinate and create. Brushes and Beans Cafe Murraysville. At Brushes and Beans Cafe, you can enjoy a delicious latte, cappuccino, cold brew, and much more while relaxing and creating your very own masterpiece. For more information, visit our website at www.brushesandbeanscafe.com or give them a call at 724-610-3782.
All right, guys, I'll let you take it away.
Matt, it's great to have you back, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys. What's going on?
Of course, man.
What's up, brother?
So let me ask you, because I've been seeing you in the training room, how's the recovery coming, and what's your mindset on it, and how you attacking this injury to come back stronger, faster, bigger than you were this past season?
I mean, I'm just taking it day by day right now. I mean, there's not much I can do. I'm trying to support the team whatever way I can, whether that's in the locker room or, in the film room or anything like that. So, I've been trying to just take it day by day, week by week, and eventually, I'll be able to work out. And, I'm just doing physical therapy right now, getting my legs strong. So, it's been a big process for me. Not something I'm used to, but, eventually things will clear up, and, I just want to be there for the team as much as I can.
100%, man. Rewind it back to camp when you got named captain for the team. What was that like for your senior year? What was that like?
I mean, it was unbelievable experience. I mean, still now, it shocks me, and it's unfortunate that I've had this injury and I can't lead the way I want to do it. But to have my name etched in Pitt football history forever, I mean, it means the world to me. And I'm not from Pittsburgh, I'm from Long Island, but to be able to adapt to a Yinzer, as you guys say, and become a Pittsburgh man, and lead this team, and just the pride and the passion and the care that I had for this university means the world to me. So,
yeah, man, you earned it for sure.
Yes, sir. Now, tell the listeners what is your injury, and what's usually the timeline, the time frame of getting back and in fully healthy running and stuff like that.
Well, what I did was I tore my plantar plate in my toe, and it happened on the West Virginia turf, and all that turf all around the NFL and college. It's been injuring people, so it's a big issue. It's a really, I think, bad grade of turf toe, and I tore a couple ligaments in my toe, which eventually the doctor said around 3 to 4 months, maybe 4 to 5 months, as a recovery time. Right now I'm feeling good. I'm trying to speed it up and make it quicker than that. But that's the extent of the injury. I know I haven't been too public about it, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but unfortunately it's just enough to knock me out for the year. And it's sad, but I'll bounce back, and I'll be back, and before you know it.
Absolutely, 100%. So what are you doing with all your time off? I mean, you're in a hotel right now. What's that like?
I mean, it's difficult. I mean, having time off is nice and stuff, but not being able to walk and using a scooter, that's obviously, the biggest deal. But yeah, I guess, coming home and, playing some video games and relaxing, because there's not much I can do at this point. Yeah. I guess that's what I've been doing. But besides that, I've been, in the facility as much as I can. And, that's really it. So.
Yeah, so there's the biggest question here, I feel like, that everyone wants to know is what are you going to do next year? Do you have that made up yet? Are you deciding to come back for your 6th year, or pursue the NFL where coming into the season you're a high draft pick, so I think you still are, because I know you're going to come bounce back from this injury, and come test day this year, if you were to leave, you would test great. But where's your head in that, and when do you think everyone will know what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough decision for me as of right now. I really don't know, because I don't know what I want to do. I was so focused on playing on football, I didn't really even think about, the next level. And now it's, becoming a reality. But at the same time, it's I haven't played, 12 games this year. I've only played 3. It just it's going to be a decision I'm going to have to make down the road. Either decision of whether coming back or leaving to go for the NFL is a great decision in my mind. But I'm just taking it day by day, and right now I'm just trying to get fully healthy. Once I have a clear mindset of when I'm going to be back walking and running, is probably when I'll have more of a decision. It's something that I think about every day, and it's not a bad decision. It's obviously stressful, but either way, I think things will work out for me, and I'll bounce back, and things will be good. So it's a great question.
It'll all work out, man.
Yeah,
That's
thank
it.
you, bro.
On that note, Matt, I will say I do a PFF draft every now and then. I know I told you the one I did when I saw you at the facility the other day. You went 91st overall to the Bucks. Your draft stock improved in the last one. You went 89th, and I believe you were taken by the 49ers. So not a bad landing spot. I would recommend, if you knew you were going to the San Francisco 49ers, I would recommend going to the NFL.
Take it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Seriously.
It's a tough decision though, and as great as that sounds, I do love this university, and I feel like going out. Sometimes I feel like going out on a note where we're on a 2 losing streak and playing only 2 games, kind of it hurts me inside. But at the same time, if the next level is there, then I could have the opportunity to take that as well. So it's
Absolutely
2 good decisions. Yeah.
All right.
100%.
So Matt, the last time you were on, we played a game called All-American or HBO Character. So we're going to do it a little different this time. Do you have something to write with?
I don't.
If you don't, it's okay. We'll let Jake and Gavin reveal their paper, and you can announce it verbally. All right? Because, you never know who's right and who's wrong in these things. What I'm going to do is each time I am going to announce 2 names. One of these people is an HBO character from an HBO TV series. The other is a former Pitt football All-American football player. Okay? In order to get points, you need to get both answers correctly. There's 5 rounds, Final Jeopardy, the same way it always goes. Let me make the scoreboard here on my notepad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, nonetheless. All right. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Round 1. The 2 names are Ari Gold and Herb Stein. One of these people is an HBO character. The other is a former Pitt football All-American. Again, the
Which one
names are. You need to write who. So just write option. Guy number 1 is this. Guy number 2 is this. So you write, but so just put a number 1 bullet point HBO or Pitt, and then vice versa. So, or actually, we'll just do this to keep it more simple. You just tell me which one of these guys played for Pitt. Is that easier?
Fair enough,
Yeah.
All right. So Ari Gold or Herb Stein? Which one of these 2 is a former Pitt All-American?
You want me to go? I mean,
Matt, yeah, go ahead.
okay. I'd say Herb Stein is former All-American. I don't know though.
All right, Gavin.
Yeah,
That's who I had.
agree. That's who I had too.
That's correct. Herb Stein is a former
Let's
All-American.
go.
1920 is the answer there. All right. Number 2, we have Warren Heller or Omar Little. Which one of those 2 is a former Pitt All-American? Warren Heller or Omar Little? All right. All right. 3, 2, 1, reveal your answer. Or Matt, go ahead. You can answer first.
Warren Heller, Pitt football.
Warren Heller, Pitt football American. Guys,
I'm going
Heller.
Omar.
you're going Omar, Jake?
Yeah.
Matt?
Warren.
Or, excuse me, Gavin?
I was the one Matt said. Same one.
Gavin and Matt are correct. Omar Little is from the show The Wire. Warren Heller was an All-American at Pitt in 1932.
Okay, Warren.
Bang.
All right. Round 3. We're going to go with which one of these guys was a former Pitt All-American? Izzy Weinstock or Fred Funkhauser?
Jeez, I don't know. Gotta do my research.
Again,
That's like a trick.
Fred Funkhauser or Izzy Weinstock? Which
Izzy
one?
to the hizzy.
Yeah, that's another different Izzy. Different Izzy. All right. 3, 2, 1. Matt, your answer?
I got the first one. Izzy.
Izzy Weinstock?
I'm
Yeah.
going
Fred.
You both
Fred.
said Fred? Matt
Yeah.
is correct.
Yeah.
It is Izzy to the
Okay.
Izzy Weinstock.
Let's
Was
go.
an All-American at Pitt in 1934. Freddie
shit.
Funkhauser, I believe, was played by I believe he was played by Vince Vaughn, yes, and Curb Your Enthusiasm. The stepbrother of Marty Funkhauser, one of my favorite characters of all time. All right. Number 4. We have Skip Guler or Chris Moltisanti. Skip Guler or Chris Moltisanti here. I saw Matt's eyes light up. I think he knows this one. You, Jake and Gavin, not so much, maybe. We'll go with Jake. You don't have to show the paper, Jake. Who do you think?
All right, Chris.
You think Chris Moltisanti?
Yeah.
All right.
I got
Gavin?
Chris too. I got Chris.
Matt, what show is Chris Moltisanti from?
The Sopranos. It's Skip. Skip.
Yeah. Matt's a perfect. Matt, you're 4 for 4, right?
I know. Yeah.
This kid's unreal.
Yes.
You
Yes.
better wager it all, Matt.
Matt's got 40. Jake's got 20.
You're banned from the show.
Or Gavin's got 20.
You guys
Jake's
are
got
letting
10.
me win. Ain't no way you guys are that.
We've already had one cheating scandal on this show. I don't think we need another.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. So the final one. Guys, Jake, how much are you gambling? All 10 of your
Everything.
points?
Let's go.
All right. Gavin?
Yeah, all of it.
Matt, how much are you betting?
I don't know. I guess like 2 or 3.
You're batting 3 points of your 40? Okay. All right, Matt's betting 3 points, so he's guaranteed to win.
Oh,
No, wait. Unless Gavin... you have 40 points to gamble with.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll do
20. All.
How much?
20.
All right, he's gambling 20. All right. Your options are Roman Roy or Julius Dawkins. Which one is a former Pitt All-American? Which one is an HBO character? Roman Roy or Julius Dawkins? Everyone have their answer?
Yep.
We'll start with Jake, who is in last place with 10 points.
I'm going Roman.
Roman Roy.
Yeah.
Okay. Gavin?
I'm going Dawkins.
Okay.
I'm going Dawkins.
Matt is the winner with 60 points. Gavin finishes with 40. Jake finishes with 0. Roman Roy is from the hit show Succession. Another great show. I highly recommend watching it. Julius Dawkins was an All-American for Pitt in 1981.
I'm all right with second.
Yeah, not bad. Hey, you beat Jake for the first time legitimately this week, Gavin.
It's progress. It's progress.
Come up. All right, guys. Hey, Matt, anything final you want to say before we let you go here?
I appreciate you guys having me, and I appreciate all the fans for having my back, and hell to Pitt as always.
Awesome.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, Matt. Well, thank
Appreciate
you very
you,
much
brother.
for your time. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we will wrap things up with our final segment here on In the Trenches with Jake Kradel and Gavin Bartholomew. Back here on In the Trenches with Jake Kradel and Gavin Bartholomew, we have one final segment. But before we get to it, Gavin, who's this segment brought to us by?
This segment is sponsored by Rendine Consulting, helping company staff integrate and optimize their technology systems. Call 412-965-5933 for your technology needs.
All right. So we typically start this segment by reading headlines. However, I thought we would use it for something a little better this time. Today, we're recording this Wednesday evening. The talk of Pitt Twitter involved a blue vase. For context, when you walk into the Pitt building right now, the Pitt's football facility, right in front of the staircase, which is right next to the front doors, sits a podium with this little blue vase there. And I feel like I've seen blue vases around the building before, but I've never seen it in this specific case. And I was walking out. I saw someone. I couldn't even tell you who it was. I'll own it. I just saw someone in the building. I was like, what's the significance of this? And they told me. And I just took a picture of it. I thought it was just a typical football guy thing. You hear about the Raiders burying the film back in the day, or teams that have blown up a football, or whatever the case is. I just thought this was another simple motivational tactic that was thought up in a week, and that was the end of it. And I was wrong. I wasn't the only one to say, point this out, but I put it on social media. I was wrong with what I said, and it blew up and kind of became like a national story today. And it felt bad as someone who's paid to report accurate information. I think, and you guys would both agree, I typically get things right when I report them. But I wasn't right here. I messed up, and I'm owning that. And I figure there are no better people to explain what this blue vase actually means than the men to my left and right on the screen here. So I'll let Jake start because he's been around longer than you, Gavin. But what does this blue vase actually mean? What's its significance?
Yeah, no, it's something that we've been kind of throughout my past 6 years and the years before me that Coach Energy's been here. It's based off like a video, which is I think it's called the Gogetter, and it's just pretty much a story about a guy trying to pass the blue vase test, which is, hey, he has to go get this blue vase, return it to his boss or the guy that needs it, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get it done. And that's kind of like our message, this week. I mean, every day, just go get it done. Go do what you have to do to get a win. And that's where, it's mentality. It's 1-0 mentality. And, that blue vase just reminds you, hey, like, whatever you need to do, forget about everything else. Go get it done and come back with a win, Saturday night. So, I mean, it's a great story. I think there might be a video on it if you want to look it up, or if the listeners or fans want to look it up. It's something, I think it's just a good little bit to kind of just just whatever you do in life, do it to the best of your ability, find a damn way, and get it done.
Yeah, no, we put it in we put it in the lobby for we talked about it, and we did it previously the 1 year, and then we brought it back. And it's just really, you come in the building each day, and like you literally throw you go like this, and you throw your thoughts in the vase, and you go upstairs and eat breakfast and get ready for practice. And it's just something to help us get mentally locked in and prepared for practice, and also the week and leading up to the game.
Now, and Coach Narduzzi spoke about this on his radio show Wednesday night. He kind of talked about how, correct me if I'm wrong, the vase was with you guys in El Paso last year. This is something you guys watch this video before every first game of the season, and there are multiple blue vases all over the facility. So that's where I kind of recognized it in a way. I was like, I feel like I've seen that before. But this is a pretty significant thing to the program. It's not just some cheap thing that was thought up out of nowhere one day.
Right. It means much more. It means, coming together, finding a way. We're in a tough spot. We got ourselves kind of in a hole, and it's just, how are we going to dig ourselves out of this hole and, kind of just at the end of the day, find a way. What's the guy, what are you going to do? And what's the guy to your left and right you're going to do to come out with a win? And that's kind of the day. It's just, hey, when we walk in that facility, it's all football. It's, hey, whatever you have going on outside this facility, leave it outside. Don't bring it inside. Just, come in with a mentality that, hey, it's football, and that's all we care about right now. And for the, 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours we get there, however long you decide to stay at the facility, that's what your focus is. You're focused on Louisville and what you individually are going to do to help us win.
All right. Well, again, so to everyone who made a big thing out of it, I own it. I was misinformed. I should have I take serious reports on, or I take reports serious on, quarterback changes or position changes or anything else. didn't know I needed to take the Vase seriously, but I messed up, and I'm glad that Jake and Gavin could come here and set the record straight, and that won't happen again. So I tell all the people that were upset with me or other people who said what was said on Twitter, my bad. All right, we'll move forward now. No more Vase. I hope I never have to talk about a Vase again. We'll move on now to say something nice. Guys, say something nice about Louisville.
Man, I'll tell you, Louisville's they flash on tape. You know, their defense is. I'm sure everyone watched the Notre Dame game last week, and you know their defensive tackles to their defensive ends really are explosive. Make splash plays for their defense. I mean, the linebackers just fly around. You know, they see the gap or a hole, they're taking it. You know, so it's gonna be a great challenge. You know, they're 6-0 for a reason. They're very talented, well coached. I mean, it's a great test for us, and I think we have the squad, we have the talent in the facility to really go out there and make a statement on Saturday. You know, I think they're number 14 in the country, so it's a perfect opportunity for us to show who we truly are. You know, and get this ship on the right track again.
Yeah, like Jake said, I mean, they're nationally ranked. This is a big game. Obviously, they're a good team. Like you said, they're well coached. Up front, they got a lot of guys that make plays. They got some big dudes. They're strong. They move quick. They get off blocks. In the backfield, their linebackers, like you said, they're good tacklers. They fly around. They fill holes. And their DBs, I feel like they make fairly well open field tackles. They don't miss much, and they pursue to the ball. So it'll be a fun game Saturday.
All right, guys. Third down, we always go with Jake and Gavin podcast, practice player of the week. Who is your practice player of the week for each of you?
I'm going to go with Christian. This is his first start. I mean, I guess it's the obvious one. I mean, like I said, he's been kind of in the background, just really staying ready. He's been studying each week. Taking it as if he was a starter. So I think this week with him, being the named starter, as we all know, I think he's had a great week of practice. I think he's prepared. I think he's going to really come out and hopefully be explosive and get us in the end zone 4 or 5 times and have a great victory on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jake stole mine. I was going to say Christian. But, he's had a great week of practice, stepping in. Basically, like he was already the starter. I mean, he knew everything, just like any other quarterback should. But, he's doing a great job with all the receivers, getting the timings down with the running backs, the linemen. He knows what everyone wants and needs. He gets the team, and he's going to lead us to victory on Saturday. So let's do it.
All right, and to wrap up the show, we have our keys to victory in 5 words or less. Guys, how will your Pitt Panthers upset Louisville?
No turnovers and be explosive.
Protect the quarterback.
All right. Guys, any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
I'm all good.
I don't know. Just excited. I think it's a great opportunity for us, Pitt Panthers, come Saturday, and excited to get this season back on track.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone who tuned in. As always, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and keep tuning in to the Post-Gazette Sports Now YouTube channel and podcast network for all of your Pittsburgh sports coverage here by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Take care.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our Apple Podcast channel for more podcast content. Click below for a special deal of 99 cents for a 3-month subscription to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.